Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com bringing you my review of Superfeet premium insoles for your soccer cleats or football boots. Now basically insoles are kind of a tricky thing when it comes to soccer cleats simply because they tend to be extremely low profile. I have two insoles as an example here, one being a Tiempo Legend insole that you can see isn't actually too bad, has a decent thickness to it, has a decent width to it, and even has some pour-on inserts at the bottom. But when you're talking about insoles on soccer cleats that tend to be a little bit lighter, like the Hypervenom Phantom insole here, you can see it's very narrow, there's perforations all throughout, it's a very thin foam, and there just isn't much to it at all. So what you're left with is an insole that doesn't really provide anything in the way of support, and also doesn't really absorb shock all that much either, which can lead to discomfort, which is what Superfeet here is trying to solve with their insoles. Now just to give you some brief information on Superfeet, they're all made up very similarly. I have two versions right here, the black version and the blue version. They're both designed for cleated footwear, but the black version is going to be a little bit more low profile. So you can see that they both feature very similar foam bases. There isn't a ton of padding to be had here, but the foam itself is very high quality and is designed to absorb impact and isn't going to break down very quickly at all. So again, durability is definitely taken into consideration here. It does have an antimicrobial kind of meshing over top as well, so smell and bacteria is not going to build up on this insole, which is very important. The main reason why you would buy Superfeet, and some of you guys may already be familiar with Superfeet as a company, is they have the ESS or encapsulating stabilizer system, which is this little plastic piece going from the heel through the midfoot that more or less provides some good arch support or an orthopedic style of insole that you wouldn't normally get with your standard cleated footwear. Now something like this retails for $40 US whether you go for the black version or the blue version. As I said, the blue version is not quite as low profile as what you're going to get from the black model. So as far as what you're going to put in your soccer cleats, I would personally recommend going for the black ones, but they are both suitable and low profile enough to fit in your soccer shoes. Now what I really notice when using the Superfeet in comparison to a standard insole is, one, you do have that little bit of an arch here through the midfoot, which is something that is highly unusual and something you'll almost never find in a pair of soccer cleats. You can see that they are made in the USA, and this little piece right here is very solid. It's going to provide some really decent support, as well as help with cushioning, especially in the heel, I noticed, which is definitely a good thing. So if you are one of those people that finds that there is a lack of support in your soccer cleats and you really want to help solve that problem, Superfeet, especially the black insole, is definitely what I would personally recommend. Now the problem with any aftermarket insole is, again, you're going from something that is significantly more bulky, even though it is very low profile, in comparison to a standard soccer cleat insole. So again, I would personally recommend the Superfeet for any soccer cleat that is a little bit more high volume. If you're going to put it in something like a Hypervenom, you can see that there is a lot more width, especially through the midfoot and heel on the Superfeet insole in comparison to the Hypervenom insole. So you might have some issues fitting comfortably into your Hypervenoms or whatever low profile cleat you have with the Superfeet insole. So again, if you're wearing something that is really tight fitting and really lightweight, something like the Superfeet insole may not work all that well with your shoes. But if you have something that's a little bit higher volume like the Tiempo Legend insole, you can see that it fits pretty much perfectly. It's almost identical in shape. Of course, Superfeet, like any aftermarket insole, are trimmed to fit. So once you get your other insole out, basically you would just put it right there, grab your other insole, put it on top, and this trim around the edges just to match the shape of the insole you're replacing, and you should be able to get a proper fit. But that's pretty much it as far as all the technical specifications and what Superfeet are all about. Move on next to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are in comparison to a standard soccer cleat insole. Now, while I would argue that the weight of your insoles is going to have absolutely no impact on your overall performance in your shoes, it does help to more or less explain why Superfeet will work with some shoes and won't work so well with other shoes. So I'm going to weigh the Superfeet insoles for you. Keep in mind that these are trimmed down to a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that these guys weigh in at 1.35 ounces. So they weigh significantly more than your average soccer shoe insole, which is why I recommended these for higher volume footwear. I found myself most commonly wearing the Superfeet insoles in shoes like the Tiempo Legend, the CTR 360 Maestri, the Laser 4, it worked well. Even the LZ2 or the Nitro Charge, I had no problems wearing the Superfeet insoles. But when you're talking about wearing it in shoes like the Hypervenom Phantom, the Mercurial Vapor 9, that's where you're going to run into issues just because there's not a lot of extra space for the extra bulk that the insole is going to kind of take up inside the shoe. So you have to keep in mind that this is designed for, again, more high volume footwear, even though it is fairly low profile for an insole that's providing this much in the way of support. Now here is a Hypervenom Phantom insole, again in a size 9 US. You can see it's very, very thin, very narrow through the midfoot as well as through the heel. We'll throw that on the scale and you can see that these guys weigh in at 0.4 ounces. So there's a significant difference in weight as well as in bulk going from the Superfeet to the Hypervenom insole, which is again why I wouldn't recommend the Superfeet insoles for very low profile and tight fitting footwear. Whereas something like the Tiempo Legend insole, again, keep in mind this is a size 9 US, has some decent bulk and width to it. Throw that on the scale. It weighs in at 0.8 ounces. So the difference in weight going from the Tiempo insole to the Superfeet insole is not all that significant, which is why these two kind of types of insoles work well together if you did want to replace this insole with a Superfeet insole. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of this video and really what shoes you should use the Superfeet insole with and which shoes you shouldn't use it with. And move on next to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my review on the Superfeet insoles. Superfeet is a brand that I can highly recommend. I've been using their products in my hockey skates for over 5 years now, and over the last couple of months in my soccer cleats I've been using them. And again, I have to say that the quality is there, and it's definitely a product that I can recommend for 2 reasons. The first reason being that you need to replace your current insoles because they're broken down, and you're looking for something that is 1, not only high quality, but 2, also going to last a very long time, and you're definitely going to get that longevity as well as the quality fit out of these Superfeet insoles. And the second reason why I would recommend purchasing a pair of these is if you are looking for something that is going to provide a little bit more in the way of support, more so than any other low profile cleat insole currently out there on the market. So again, those are the 2 main reasons why I would personally consider Superfeet as my next pair of insoles. And there aren't really too many options out there. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're looking for that supportive feel, this is what you should take a look at. So if you guys are interested in getting a pair of these for yourself, I will leave buy it now links down below in the description. Be sure to go ahead and check them out. Again, the black insole is what I would personally recommend for low profile cleated footwear, but there also is the blue insole available that is a little bit thicker in the heel, so keep that in mind. But other than that guys, if you have any questions regarding these insoles, feel free to leave a comment down below and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description. And other than that guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.